Hi everyone, Dead Battery here, and thank you for joining me on my channel. Today's video is going to be on the PC Engine Duo R. If you remember from one of my previous videos, I already own something like this. I own the PC Engine, but I own it in the interface unit, and it looks like this. So basically it's the PC Engine and the CD-ROM put together in a briefcase-like contraption. The PC Engine Duo R is basically the same thing, just put together in one system. So it's kind of like the Famicom and the disk system squished together in the Sharp twin Famicom. I did find it in the junk section and I wasn't too sure if it worked yet, but I felt like this would be a good system to buy and then compare it to the interface unit. The interface unit does have some of its downfalls. It takes these cards and that does determine on which CD-ROMs you can play. So basically I decided to do a capacitor swap, and then I was able to order a version 3 card for the interface unit because the Duo R already comes with version 3 in it. So let's do a capacitor swap and then let's compare them and see what the load times are and what the games look like, and then figure out which one I decide to keep. This is what the PC Engine Duo R looks like. It's opposite from the interface. This one has the card reader on the left and the disc reader on the right. To take this one apart, you just flip it over. There are 5 screws on the back. Once you remove the screws and flip it back over, do not just rip the top off. There is a cable that connects it to the motherboard. Next step is removing the CD-ROM reader, and you just have to remove these 3 cables. You will not get these mixed up. They go to these specific spots and they only fit in those spots. This area right here is small caps. Be careful because you need to get the shorter one since they sit underneath the CD-ROM. Now this system has a lot of capacitors. From what I remember, there are 71 total and 24 of them are small caps. Luckily, console 5 has a whole kit with the capacitors in it. Last I looked, it was roughly $16. I am going to go through and use my desolder gun to get all the capacitors off. Even though I like doing capacitor swaps, I did decide to do this in sections. So I did the small capacitors first, and then I just kind of worked my way down the board. You can definitely get confused. Make sure you're following your list so you know that you're putting the correct ones in. Now the PC Engine Duo R is a redesign of the interface where everything was separate. This system was released on March 25th, 1993 by NEC Home Electronics, and from what I could find, the price at the time was 39,800 yen. One of the big issues with the Duo was it had surface mount capacitors and it leaked. So the Duo R was created with through hole capacitors, which solved the capacitor problem they had with the Duo. This system is considered the cheaper version. I assume they're comparing it to the briefcase interface unit. I could also see it being the cheaper version because you didn't have to buy the other version cards since the system already was a version 3. So we're going to put the motherboard back on the bottom shell. We're going to put the screws back in place. Then we're going to put the CD-ROM on top, reconnect all those cables. And then to get the lid on, it is a little funky because you have to hold it sideways to get that last cable in because it's really short. Don't forget that because it will not run if that's not plugged in because the system doesn't register that the lid is actually closed. I did try to wipe this off. I was really hoping the white wasn't just that dirty. So I may look at making this brighter, but at the moment it's just going to be dull and dingy. Now that it's together, I can bring both systems downstairs. I can hook it up to our CRT TV, and then I am running it through a capture card so you won't see all those lines. The first game that we'll compare is the New Zealand story, and you're this little bird running around. I don't really notice a difference in how it's running or how it's loading. I don't really notice any difference with the gameplay. This game is called Alien Crush, and it's a pinball game. I really enjoy playing pinball games on these systems. And once again, I don't really notice too much of a difference from one system to the other. Let me know in the comments if you do notice any differences. This is a CD-ROM, and as you can see, it does say version 3 on both of them. So this next one is one of my arcade games, and I figured it wouldn't work because I don't have the arcade card, and here is both of them sadly not working. He's basically saying that this game will not work on the system and to please use the arcade card. The next game I was really excited about because it was one of my Sailor Moon games, and right away I can tell something's up because it's not loading like the Duo R is. And then I get this error message, and this is telling me that there's nowhere to save. Now, I'm not sure what I have to do with this. I did go back and delete my backup. I'm not too sure if there's something else I need to do. I have to do a little more research on this. Let me know in the comments who your favorite Sailor Scout is. This last game is part of my Shin Megami Tensei collection, and it's made by Atlas. And the Atlas symbol loads the same, but then the next load screen, you can really see the difference. The Duo R loads faster than the interface unit, and now the rest of it is completely behind. And I think everything's going smoothly for the interface unit until I make it to the actual game part, and this is what shows up. Unfortunately, it's telling me something about my backup again. Once again, I thought I erased it, but I must have done something wrong, so I'm gonna have to do research to fix it. I cannot believe how many capacitors that thing had. I've done systems with a lot of capacitors, but I might have to say this one was one of the larger ones I've done. 71 capacitors is a lot. Once again, if you decide to do this, make sure you pay attention to where the small caps are so that they actually fit in the spot. So which system did you like more? Do you think the interface unit is better, or do you think the Duo R is better? Obviously, I can't play all the games because I'm having issue with the interface. So right now it looks like the Duo R would have to be my choice. I don't see myself keeping both systems. I really like the interface unit. I like the look of it and I like the idea of it. So I'm probably going to end up keeping the Duo R, which originally I thought I wasn't. I thought the interface one was going to be the one I was going to keep, not the Duo R. So interesting to do a comparison between them, and it was definitely a lot of fun. Let me know in the comments which one you would keep, if you would keep both, or if you would go with one versus the other one, and why. If you enjoy doing capacitor swaps, I think you'll have a lot of fun with this one. Just take it in sections. And Console 5 does have the link in their capacitor page that gives you the list of everything, including chips and some other information. I did have a lot of fun with this one, even though it took me a couple hours. There are a lot of really interesting games with this, and I am definitely really excited to collect some more, and then also be able to play my Sailor Moon games, and then start working my way through my Shin Megami Tensei collection. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a video about the Shin Megami Tensei collection I have. It's definitely really awesome, and if you only know about the Persona games, you are missing out. As always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye!